Igor Milicic said that he needed to be more patient on offense earlier this week, and following an 8 and 7 point performance in his first 2 games as of all this season, it seems he might have found his rhythm against Montana to the tune of his first double-double as of all. 18 points, 10 rebounds. If that continues, it could create a lot of excitement, especially on offense for this team moving forward. I'm Paige Dower. This is the Field Pass on Full Disclosure. Now, despite what the final score will tell you, it was an incredibly sluggish first half for the Tennessee Vols, especially on offense. The opening minutes, a number of scoring droughts for Tennessee, but it might have been at that 4:38 media timeout where this game really turned in Tennessee's favor, because at that point, Igor Milicic only had 9 points on the day, and at that same time, Montana had completed 10 of its last 17 field goals, led by Money Williams, who had 14 points at the same time. Now, Tennessee was able to crank up its defense in the second half as well, so Money Williams was almost a non-factor in the second half, and why he was able to have success in the first half, the team will tell you, it's because they were not executing on their coverages. It was just wide open lanes in the post, and they were just letting him get downhill at will, essentially, in the first half of the game. But the defense ramped up and was definitely able to quiet Montana, specifically Money Williams, in the second half. Now, how about that immediate timeout at 4:38? Well, the next 59 seconds out of that, Tennessee went on a 7-0 run. It was, of course, sparked by Felix free throw that he made, and then back-to-back buckets by Igor Milicic. Now, 14 of his 18 total points on the night all came in the first half. And what does that attribute to? It's him being patient on offense, because in the second half, we saw how he was able to generate offense for other players when it came to his passing game. But firstly, his own ability to create offense for himself was because he was seeing the court and the field so much better tonight. And that's because he wasn't having these premeditated thoughts about what he was going to do with the ball when he finally got it in his hands. Rick Barnes will say he's really predetermined a lot of his offense, especially in the first 2 games of the season. He did not do this in the game against Montana, and we saw it with the 14 points in the first half. He says that he felt more free playing too. He's like, I'm not really thinking about what I was going to do next. I was just taking what I was seeing, and he was seeing the basket really clearly tonight. And just his ability to slow down, be patient, allow everyone to get set, what might be the key to his success moving forward. Because earlier in the week, he's like, I don't know how to slow down. Like, I am so used to playing fast. And Barnes was like, yeah, he kind of had to like rewire his brain a little bit to be able to play at this slow pace. But when he does, he's just so much more loose and free, like he was saying earlier. And I think if that's something that he can hone in on and just learn to be a bit more carefree and turn his brain off a little bit on offense, and if that's what we see when he's not thinking, I think it makes for a really exciting future at his time here at Tennessee. But where they turned it on in the second half was, of course, when they had their lockdown defense. Montana's head coach, was kind of joking and jarring with us, and he's just like, well, we had a lot more fun in the first half as compared to the second half of this game. And he's like, it must have been because Rick Barnes had a better halftime speech than I did, because again, Money Williams and the offense, not much of a factor in this game. In fact, they were the ones that went on a number of scoring droughts, as Tennessee went on a number of its own scoring drives as well, making 4, 5, 6 straight field goals in a row, ending the game on a 13-3 completion. They made 13 to Montana's 3 points in the final moments of the game. So they ramped up the defense. That was allowing them to feed into their offense, because that's when we saw Chaz Lanier come alive. He had a mere 2 points in the first half. He had 11 in the second half. A lot of that's because he was in foul trouble early, so he didn't play much in the first half of this game. But Rick Barnes says, Chaz Lanier can be incredibly lethal for us. He can be a pure shooter for us. But when teams know that you can be that good, they're going to throw the house at you. And you just have to be able to learn how to work through that and find your rhythm on offense. And a lot of that rhythm came from the team actually passing more. I mentioned it a moment ago with Igor Milicic saying that he felt that his obviously strength is that he's versatile, and that's why Tennessee wanted him here. But he was really great in the pass game tonight, maybe just a couple of passes away from having a triple-double tonight. All of his rebounds came on the defensive end. He had about 8 assists on the night as well, and that's what allowed this team to have a lot of success in the second half, and that's why the scoreboard and the final score looks the way it does, because of what they did in the second half. They passed it a lot more, they saw the court a lot more, and they were able to generate offense not only for themselves but for the team, and that's that's why Chaslanier had such a good game. If those two can't continue to mimic that type of offensive production, this team could be pretty dangerous moving forward. They just need to tighten up that defense earlier in the game. But at the end of it, Rick Barnes says that the most impressive thing about Igor Milicic tonight was that he didn't turn the ball over at all. And then he's like, and the coach was really proud of me tonight. And he's like, and that's pretty rare. So that got a good laugh out of everybody when he mentioned that as well. Also, another fun fact for you, Rick Barnes, he is now the second winningest head coach for Tennessee basketball in program history. The third win on the season tonight gives him 205 career wins for second best in program history. He is now 73 behind the great Ray Mears for tying in the all-times win column. So definitely very exciting news for the Hall of Fame coach as the season continues. Igor Milicic and Chaslanier continue to impress early in this season. And if Igor Milicic can keep this stretch up here after game 3, it'll be really exciting. Also coming up, Jamal Lewis, the VFL, sat down with Jimmy Himes on the Rewind to talk all things Georgia football, Tennessee football, and the comparison he had for Dylan Sampson was quite interesting as well. That airs tomorrow at 1 p.m. Also, Jimmy and I will be back on Friday afternoon to have a keys to the game now that we know Nico Imaliava is still questionable, and we won't have a firm answer until later on Friday. Could make for an interesting turn of events on how that continues to develop throughout the week. Thank you all so much for watching. I really have appreciated all of the engagement up until this point and all of the support. I really couldn't do any of this without you all. So thank you all so much. Getting excited for basketball and the height of the football season to come. So definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications, because we got 3 sports going on right now. So it's going to be a crazy time here on Rocky Top as I try and keep up. I'll talk to you guys on Friday.